Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Matt Horner from Sports Mockery, and today I am bringing you my official divisional round Saturday picks for the two games that are going on today. This morning, uh, basically, I go over all of my final bets that I'm going to make. I look over the player props, I look over the lines, everything like that, and what's going on. And then I make my final bets usually uh, most of the time pretty much right before kickoff is the best time to get there. Depends on where the line's going. That's always what you got to look at. My predictions this weekend, I'm telling you, some of them you may not like, but guess what? According to my numbers, the way I make the games, that's just the way it is. It's the way I got to bet. Sometimes you're going to look at it and you're just going to straight puke, but it's the way it is. So you've got two games going on tomorrow, Saturday. You have the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Rams. That's going to be the first game that's taking place at about 4:35 p.m. Eastern time. For you in Central Time, that would, I guess, be 3:35 Central Time. So this game is going to be a game that's like, it's between the number one defense and it's between the number one offense in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers has been red hot this year. He has pretty much lit the league up. It doesn't really matter who he's faced. He's just been pretty much unstoppable for the Packers. Davante Adams is a beast at wide receiver. You can't stop him. He's literally just scoring touchdowns at some sort of rate that I've never even seen before. And the Packers are just early in games. I mean, they just throw points at you. I mean, you've seen it. They get up, 14-0, 21-0. I mean, they just come at you hard to start these games. And they really just seem unstoppable at that point. But the problem with the Packers is that once they get up by a decent amount, they tend to, lay off the gas, which you've seen plenty of times this year. And when they lay off the gas, what does that do? That gives the other teams an opportunity to backdoor the game in terms of the point spread. Or possibly it could come back to bite them to where they might lose if they lay off the gas that much. Of course, there's the playoffs. Maybe they don't do that. But from what we've seen all year, that's something that the Packers tend to like to do a lot. We know as Bears fans here, Mitch Trubisky, that first game against the Packers was, a massive blowout like it was, although Bears management probably doesn't see it that way because they look at the final score. But Trubisky threw 3 touchdowns in the second half of that game. So that's just kind of what the Packers do this year. They just let off the gas. And that may come back to bite them at the playoffs if they don't watch themselves. And this matchup here, you've got the Los Angeles Rams. They're the number one defense in the NFL. They've got Aaron Donald, Hall of Fame defensive lineman. I mean, he's literally already pretty much in the Hall of Fame. He's unstoppable up front. And I just feel like he's going to dominate this game. Corey Linsley, their center, has been out for a little while. He's going to be playing in this game as far as I know. But he's just been out for a little bit, and that sometimes you get back into this thing and you're going against the most dominant interior defensive pass rusher we've seen in years. That's not something you want to come back to. So you got him. Of course, Jalen Ramsey on the outside is going to be right on Davante Adams, I'm sure, the entire game. And Ramsey's been shutting people down all year long. DK Metcalf on the Seahawks 3 times this year. He's pretty much shut him down. Although the last game, the playoff game, Metcalf did have some yards on him and a touchdown, I believe. But overall this year, he's pretty much just been a lockdown corner. And going against the Packers, Davante Adams is going to be a huge challenge for him. But I think he can rise to the occasion. I think it's very possible that he keeps Adams out of the end zone. Adams is going to get his yards, but he could keep him out of the end zone. It's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough. But Ramsey's the best corner in the NFL, at least right now, and I think he has the opportunity to do that. And plus, with the Packers, their biggest weakness this year is definitely on defense, but specifically through the running game. They've struggled quite a bit against the rush this year, and the Rams in this game are going to be relying on the rush a lot because Jared Goff's thumb injury. They don't really know exactly. I feel like Goff is still kind of hurt. That thumb, I mean, he had surgery on his thumb before the last playoff game. Like, how quickly can that heal? Like, dog, it's not going to be healed that fast. So I firmly believe that they're not going to throw the ball 50 times in this game, and they're going to lean towards the rushing attack. And that's rookie Cam Akers. And Cam Akers has been, fantastic for half of the season where he's actually started games for the Rams. He's been amazing for them. The Packers rushing defense, again, is questionable. It's really not, it's not terrible per se, but it's definitely their weakest point, I'd say, on the team overall. And I could definitely see Akers getting into the end zone at least once, maybe even twice in this game. And I think that's how the Rams are going to attack the Packers. So if the Packers don't watch out, if they aren't the normal Packers where they get up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter or something like that, they should watch out because the Rams are going to run the ball. I think they can run the ball on this Green Bay defense, and that's going to milk the clock out quite a bit. And I think this game is just going to be close. I don't think it's going to be as far apart as people think. I'd make this game about 4 points difference, which means probably the most likely outcome of this game is going to be something like a field goal, I'd say most likely. And at the point spread it is right now, the Packers are laying 6.5 points. That's going to be tempting for a lot of people to take the Packers under a touchdown. But I don't like that. I really don't like laying 6.5 points with the Packers in this game. Something tells me it's going to be a lot closer than 6.5 points, and I think the books know that too. This number at 6.5 has stayed like this all week long, and you don't see that happen very often. Something brings it down. 6.5 is a very key number to get because it's right under 7 points, which is a touchdown. So that's really something a lot of the public, a lot of people are going to want to bet on because it's under a touchdown. You say, oh, okay, the Packers win by 7 points. I win my bet, right? Yeah, that's cool. Well, it's been like this all week. And why has it been like this all week? Because if it's 6.5 and everybody's betting on 6.5, it's going to go up to 7 at that point, but it's stayed at 6.5. And the reason for that a lot of times is because the public bets are smaller, and not as much money is being wagered. So it takes a while for that to get up to 7, but it's counterbalancing a lot of that because as soon as it does get to 7, the sharps, the people who are betting thousands and thousands of dollars on these games, they go in and they take the Rams at 7, and then it goes back down to 6.5. It's pretty much where it's been all week long. It bounced a little bit, but the sharp bettors are taking the Rams in this game. And as soon as it gets to 7, I would grab that. If I was any of you guys, I'll be monitoring it. This game gets to 7 points, all this public money on game day, it gets to 7. Take a look at your books. That's a buy point for me. Rams plus 7, I'll take that all day long. I think the Rams definitely have a chance to win this game. I think they can win this game outright. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not living in the future. But I think they have a real possibility of winning the game. I definitely want them at plus 7. No doubt about that. That's way too much value. Rams plus 7. That's my bet in that game. And the total is 45.5. That's extremely low. That's like 5 points lower than your average NFL game this year in terms of total. So I would take the over in that case. I don't know how much more it goes over by, but that's a really low total for this type of game. I would take the over 45.5 points to go along with Rams plus 7. Let's move along to the second game now. Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens traveling to the Buffalo Bills up in Buffalo, New York. So that game is going to be a game between two teams that have really gone in opposite directions of the way a lot of people thought at the beginning of the season. Now, I say that, and the Ravens are still 11-5. They have the number 1 rushing attack in the NFL. They're a good team. They're a great team. But a lot of people coming into the season thought that the Ravens were going to be like, oh, so dominant. I mean, they were 14-2 last year. They're going to go and just rampage throughout the NFL, and they'll just destroy everybody. I think Colin Cowherd on his show on The Herd on Fox, I believe he predicted the Ravens to go 16-0 before the season, which, I think that's a little lofty of expectations for any team to go 16-0. But you can see by that the expectations were extremely high for the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, 11-5 is not anywhere close to that. So you could say going from 14-2 to 11-5, they went in the opposite direction, but they're still good. Like, right. And then the other team, the Buffalo Bills, a lot of people thought they'd be, decently good this year. Josh Allen, the quarterback, had a lot of doubters, so they didn't know how well they would do. Well, the Bills did really well. They went 13-3. That trade for Stephon Diggs was probably one of the better trades in recent memory that a team has made, because it has elevated the Buffalo Bills offense way past what it has been in the past. And I really do think that part of Josh Allen's development really hinged upon that, getting a true number one receiver that can create separation downfield. And Allen has been able to get the ball to him. And when you got a guy who can create separation like that, his accuracy issues that he's had in the past, it's just better, right? Because you got a guy who can get separation, and when he gets separation, you don't have to be as accurate. But at the same time, it helps with your accuracy because you don't have to be, throwing it. You could pretty much throw it anywhere around him. He's going to catch the ball, right? But it helps improve your accuracy because he's open. He's right there. You get it right to him. It's really helped Josh Allen this year grow into the franchise type of quarterback he is. And that's one of the greatest trades the Buffalo Bills franchise has ever made, if not the best trade the Bills franchise has ever made, especially if it wins them a title. I mean, it's been great. Of course, the Vikings got Justin Jefferson in return, and that's working out pretty well for them. So all in all, a pretty fair trade there. But in this game, the line is 2.5 in favor of the Buffalo Bills. 2.5 is not something I'm going to play. I think this game is really a 3-point game either way. So if you like the Buffalo Bills in this game, take the 2.5 with the Bills right now. If you think they're going to win this game, most likely they win by a field goal if they win. So if you like the Buffalo Bills in this game, take the minus 2.5 with the Bills. I personally like the Ravens in this game. The Buffalo Bills defense, it has struggled against the run, for lack of a better term, struggled. Last week, the Indianapolis Colts run rampant all over the Bills defense in Buffalo. And you've got the number one rushing team in the NFL coming in to play. And that's not a formula for success with the Buffalo Bills. So I like the Ravens personally in this game, and I'm going to wait till it gets to 3 because I think a lot of people, they see that number again. Key numbers. All of you guys out there who are newer to betting, looking to get into this, look at key numbers. Minus 2.5. That's under a field goal. So if you like the Bills, it's under a field goal. They win by a field goal. You win your bet, right? Minus 2.5 is something that's going to be really enticing to people who like the Buffalo Bills. So today, when the public goes in there and bets that game, they're going to say, oh, look, I'm getting under a field goal with the Buffalo Bills at home. Boom, let's pound that line. You know what happens when they pound that line? Then it's going to go up to 3. And as soon as it gets to 3, that is an immediate bet for me on the Baltimore Ravens, because then it's a 3-point game. Even if the Ravens lose by 3 points, guess what? I push. So it's not the end of the world in that case. I don't ever see this getting to 3.5. There's just no way. But it's a bet on the Ravens at 3, no doubt about that, because I feel like that way I have a very little chance to lose, because in my opinion, it's a 3-point game. So at worst, in that case with 3, I push, but I think the Ravens are going to win anyway. So they win, I win my bet. They lose by 3, I push, I get my money back. So, it's not really the end of the world. Anyway, that is how I think the 2 games are going to go this weekend. I do think the Rams have a very good chance to upset the Green Bay Packers. I think that is a real possibility. And the Ravens and the Bills, that's really just a pick-em game. I like the Ravens. I'm on the Ravens side in this game. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Comment section below. Go ahead, type down what you think is going to happen in this game. Give me your score predictions, everything like that. I'll say I think the Rams have a real chance to win, but I got to go with the Packers to win the game. I think the Rams can do it, so I could be wrong, believe me. But it's going to be close. Let's say Packers 26, Rams 23. That's what I think about that game. Ravens and Bills. That's tough. Oh, that's a really tough game to predict. Let's say Ravens 24, Buffalo Bills 20. And there is my predictions, my scores for the game. Let me know what you all think in the comments section below. And of course, I will see all of you next time here at Sports Mockery on the channel. There will be a link in the description box below. For the article that pairs with this video. Thank all of you for watching today, and I will see you guys back here soon on the channel. Have a great day, guys, and good luck.